Who would have thought it? That's the 20-year-old Blaupunkt amp. It's a high-level PNP amp, but it doesn't have to be a high-level PNP amp. It's got line-level RCAs as well. But it's a 20-year-old Blaupunkt THA 475. That one, 4 times 75 watts RMS. It's 20 years old, and I know that because I got that when I had a Honda Civic LB08KKL, so alright, 2008, so 18 years ago. And it's pretty cool because there's your ISO speaker connector, and then they sold it with PNP harnesses for different cars. Now they didn't have one for the Civic, so and I got I think they did a sort of semi-universal one with the ISO connectors, and I bought a hands-free wiring harness and adapted that. I think I still got the remnants of that here somewhere. Could be that. I think that might be Honda Civic to ISO, maybe. Anyway, I kept hold of that thing. It's got an aluminium body that. This is a different one, by the way. This is a 275 that I bought at a later date off eBay. Yeah, they got an aluminium body that corrodes a bit. But this is a 275. So I had I was given an Audi A3 at one point, A3 Sportback or something, 5-door A3, and I fitted these to that. I fitted them in place of the factory Bose shite, and that's what this was here. So I'm kind of made a harness that went from in place of the Bose amp. And then I sold the car. Plus, also, it had an aftermarket radio that was terrible. It had alternator wind going through it. Anyway, on the Porsche, which I've done a previous video on the aftermarket speaker wiring having turned to dust and things like that. So I started sorting all that out. I thankfully realised that they'd only wired from the head unit. So they pulled the factory amp out, which uses a fibre optic most, which I've seen in BMW in the past. Media Optical System Transport, something like that. And that's what this is here. It's fibre. It's teed here. And so it was fibre to an amplifier down here. That fibre connector and this connector came out of this hole here, and therefore I assume there was an amplifier here, a 6-channel amplifier it would be in this car. So that's long gone because somebody ripped all that out and wired a Chinese double-DIN Android head unit direct to the speakers. This piece of shit, which might have been semi-okay 15 years ago, but by today's standards it's awful. That's a resistive touchscreen, I can tell. I think it's Android 4. It's not a good one anyway. I think it's got a CD player on it. Yeah, anyway. So somebody ripped all the OEM stuff out. Right, anyway, so, and I am definitely doing, replacing all that with a single DIN Chinese Android head unit. However, if I don't like that, that's getting pulled out and I'll fit some other single DIN unit in. Up here, I've relocated the HVAC controls. This area here will be furnished. So essentially, this piece of centre console is gone. It's a common thing on a Porsche 996. I might have an invisible phone holder here, so you can just clip your phone and it'll charge and all that. So yeah, I'm fitting this. It's not a great radio, but there aren't many choices really. There aren't any great choices for single DIN radios that do DAB plus and Bluetooth and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going with that to start with. Yeah, right. So to backtrack, and the reason for the video, well, just to backtrack. So I realised that the speaker wire that somebody had fitted has now turned to dust. See previous video. So I was a bit frustrated to see that. I thought it was running to all four corners of the car, and I'd have to go under the carpets and stuff, and through door grommets and stuff like that, and realised actually they'd just spliced in here where it used to run back from the amp, which was great, with a chocolate block, which I've retained. So I apologise for that. I know this is bad. However, I have added ferrules, which weren't there before. Slight improvement. Anyway, so I replaced that wire, replaced that speaker wire, labelled it nicely, all that sort of stuff. And then I'm looking and I'm thinking, yeah, one day I could fit one of those amps that I've got. That amp or that amp. And then I'm looking at it. And I've had to pull this panel off. I found a tracker in there. A tracker and what I think could be a battery backup for the tracker. It's quite weighty. It's in a project case of sorts. This is a typical do-it-yourself case of RS or CPC. And then the tracker, I think that says no access, I'm not sure, but it is dated October 2005. That's 21 years ago. Anyway, this thing was on GSM antenna and a GPRS or 2G, a cellular antenna, both attached. Its light was flashing, so I'm pleased to have found and removed that, so my battery will last longer. That was tucked in here. So in pulling all of that out, finding the speaker wire, I looked at this amp and I realised, bloody hell, it's a god near damn it perfect fit in there. And it bloody is. I mean, the only problem was finding a way to mount it without drilling holes in the chassis, and I kind of didn't want to drill holes here because this is your steering rack, right? This is a fuel, under there is a fuel pump. So I guess with a fuel, well, yeah, fuel tank here, steering rack. So I didn't want to be drilling holes here really. So I've managed to mount it this way. It's not wobbling, it's not going anywhere. The speaker wire that I've run is redundant. However, yeah, this amp is it's a perfect fit, and if I do want to fit the 2-channel amp, that one that I showed you before, there is also a perfect spot for that. So if I decide to add a sub in future, or even wire the 6 speakers properly, because at the moment we've got the front dash and front door running in parallel, which I guess is okay, because this amp is 2 ohm stable. They are 4 ohm speakers. Hope I'm not wrong about this, but resistors in parallel, halves the resistance, so it's a 2 ohm load, so it should be okay. But yeah, I have an option to fit the other 2-channel amp here and actually have a proper 6-channel amp, or if I want to fit a sub, I reckon that's going to fit in there somewhere. So yeah, I can't believe how well that thing fits. I know this is a bit how do you do, but it's worked out okay. I've used angled bar, so it generally doesn't want to go like a flat bar would have, you know, bent. This doesn't want to bend so much. Just trimmed a little bit off there. More than anything, the purpose of the video is to say, if you've got a 996 and you're looking for an amplifier and no amplifier fits, try and find yourself one of those from 18 years ago. Now annoyingly, the Chinese Android head unit only has a left and a right out. It doesn't have, sorry, line level. It doesn't have a front and rear line level, so the fader control won't do anything. And I guess that's what you'd normally use a Y cable for, but what I've done instead is there's a line out here, and I ordered a Y cable, but it wasn't going to come till tomorrow, so I've just linked the line out to the rear, so it's feeding itself back in, which will do for now because I don't need the line out for anything else. and then we've got speaker outs here. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty chuffed at that really, that amp is such a good fit. I've fitted the trim on already, it fits on perfectly. I don't know what would have been here from the factory. Obviously removing the tracker and stuff from here has freed up a bit of space, but yeah, these horribly long cable ties, the reason for that is that they're releasable cable ties, so I'm not going to cut them at the base because they're releasable and reusable. Oh, it looks, I don't know what I'm doing, but there is a reason for it. So yeah, it's worked out good. I wish I planned it better, because at each step I have run cables through grommets, refitted grommets, the speaker wire, and then I thought, hang on a minute, oh, now I'm going to use an amp. So I fitted the amp and I've run RCA cables through grommet, and then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, I need I'm using line level, I need a remote on for the amp. Now bear in mind, when I ran those speaker wires to begin with, I did a lovely job of using braiding, everything, which I've now run out of. So now we've got live, switched live, bare, which is not great, is it? But it is what it is. And then lastly, I need the power to the amp. Needed to go through the grommet back out again. So yeah, it's not been a perfect execution, but I think it's going to be okay. Alright, thanks. Bye.